Before we dive into today's exciting interview, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Books to Life Marketing, the team making it all possible. They specialize in helping authors bring their stories to life through expert publishing, marketing, and media exposure. They're behind some of the most inspiring author journeys we've seen. And if you're an author looking to elevate your book, Books to Life Marketing is the partner you want in your corner. And our guest today is Levanah Shell Bdolak. She's the author of Healing Magic, Learn to Heal Yourself and Others. Levanah, thanks for stopping by.
I'm great. I'm always using my healing skills that I teach everyone. So I feel super great.
No, that's and before I go to questions that I have prepared, I wanted to ask you, that's the power. When you are able to do something that's such a gift, it makes life much easier every day when you wake up to know that you're going to do something really special.
But Neil, it's not a gift. It is something everybody has. That's that whole thing about it's a gift. It's a gift that you're born with, but nobody ever tells you that. And nobody ever gives you that permission. So you have to learn to reconfigure your permission to actually heal yourself.
Why is that?
And heal others.
So I want to ask you, why is that true? Because I do see, and I guess with energy, and I believe in the law of attraction. I also believe in specifically what I think about, I can bring about. And I also think about, at times, my energy has a lot to do with success or failure.
Of course. You wake up in the morning, you either have energy or you don't have it. But there's reasons for that, and you can change that. You're in charge. And that's what most people don't know. I like to empower people because you're in charge. This is the oldest art form on the planet, okay? This is it. We are born with the ability to move energy. And you're all energy. It's all about energy and how you run that through your physical body and how you use that to make your relationships, your business, your career work. It's all about how you use your energy. And I teach 5 simple basic skills and then how to use them to heal. And if you use those skills, wow, you just discover something I call joy. It makes life, everything, even the things you don't like to do, you start to have fun because you're connected. You're connected to the earth. You're connected to the higher level, which I like to call oneness, because I teach people all over the world and they all come from different belief systems and they all are fantastic healers. Everybody's a healer. That's like a norm for me.
All right. So what inspired you to write Healing Magic and share your experiences with energy healing?
I have to tell you, I teach this course all the time. So I watch people change when they do this. And what inspired me to write it is I wanted to get it down as a legacy in a book, because the book literally shows you how to do an energy healing on yourself or for others. Because when you heal somebody else, it lifts your energy. So I always tell all my clairvoyant students, you think you're having a bad day, go and give somebody a healing, okay? If you can't find somebody, give them a long distance healing because it'll lift your energy and you'll feel great and they'll get a healing.
Wow. See, and this is just something that I wouldn't have thought about. I always thought that the energy healers, Levanah, they're the ones that have the gift, and we don't have this gift. This, you mentioned that everyone is a healer. How can people begin to discover and develop that ability within themselves?
I can't give you the whole rundown of our 5 basic skills. I can tell you, first of all, to make a connection to the earth. We do it a modern way. The old way is to have roots come out from your feet, go straight down to the center of the earth and hook you on. And you have a personal universe. We call that your aura, that bubble of light that surrounds you a few feet above you to a few feet below you. And we will tell you to use your intuitive muscles and pull that energy down. You know what that aura is, because if somebody stands too close to you, you'll feel that, okay? You'll feel, oh, they're stepping into my world a little bit too much. That aura, if you pull that in, gives you focus, okay? And then bring a beautiful golden sun above your head and let it come in and fill up that aura, okay? And that gives you the higher light, okay? And then call in what we like to call cosmic love energy. And you call that from above. It's really not really above. It's another dimension that we're in, but it's cosmic love. It's pink, peach, or rose. And you pull that into your body, okay? Because it's spirit into body. There's a reason why you came here and took a body. And everybody has that mission. And once you do that, and you get some grounding, you start to get in touch with what your mission is, what your path is, and how to do it really well. You start to know what's right for you. And that's what we call spiritual.
And so when you know you've become a creator in certain ways, and look at now, you're seeing I have some knowledge base in some of this and studying this. When you know you're becoming a creator in some sort of ways, and you have the ability to create, heal, as you're talking about heal, and I'll dive deeper into that. Does it gives you like, you feel like you finally are in control when everyone teaches that you're not to be in control of your life, that everything is circumstance, everything is, we're not in control of what we do or how the final outcome becomes, when that's not true.
No, it's not true. But you do surf the energy world. So of course you have ups and downs, and being connected, really being connected, you can start to understand why this happens to you, what you can do to deal with your challenges, because everybody comes here with challenges. That's why we each have a unique body and we each have unique energy. But there is a part of us that is what I like to call the oneness or the God force that is in every cell of your body. That's the love energy, okay? The creative energy is the love energy. And there's a little bit of that in every cell in your body. I don't care what your parents were doing when they created you. I'm going to tell you that energy is there because that's the love energy. And once you connect to that, then you start to realize that you have a say in your destiny. It, of course, is based on some past lives, what you learned in this life. Until we like to show people how to clear out their childhood and their stuck programs so that they're not repeating everything everybody else told them. They're learning to be their own person and to get rid of all that. That's what we're doing now. We're in the Aquarian age of change. Right. We're at a time when we're getting rid of all the old patterns and this is the most karmic time on the planet now. It's right now. So if you can learn to really focus yourself and really use some basic skills and heal yourself and heal others, because that creates wonderful karma, then the world is your oyster or whatever you.
And you're doing this in a different way of healing. And this is where I want to dive deeper into because the word magic often carries different meanings for people. How do you define magic in the context of healing and spiritual growth? Because that's another thing. See, I look at more of the spiritual side versus the healing side. I'm looking at more the spiritual side of the magic of magnetism and how the power of magnetism, because of being magnetic, when you meet somebody, how you are able to bring that energy over to somebody else through that magnetism. Let's go into the whole magic in healing and spiritual growth and the way you define magic.
Magic, usually for most people, is something they just don't understand. And I just want to tell you, healing and spiritual are not opposite. They're all the same. It's all about working with energy. Okay. So healing is your ability to change. That's all it really is. Okay. And when you talk about magnetic, what you're really saying is that whatever it is you are right now, whatever energy you have, that's what you attract towards you. But you don't have to work hard at that. All you have to do is get rid of all the garbage everybody fed you all your life. And when you do that, you connect with your higher spirit and your higher self. And once you do that, you have that magnetic ability. You don't have to use the effort. You don't have to work at it. All you have to do is release all the garbage that tells you don't have it. You can't do this. All the negatives that everybody's ever given you, all their belief systems, and connect to your higher self. And all of that connects you. And you pull towards you what you are and what you need. And that's called being in touch with the oneness. And as far as magic goes and healing, to me, it's really, I don't like to use the word miracle because that's what people use in healing instead of magic. But miracle tends to make you think you have to be religious and you have to pray a certain way. And that's giving up your power in a way because God is with you, okay? So don't spend all your time asking someone else to take care of you because God gave you this to take care of you. You are part of the God force. You are the spirit. You are the spiritual. So all you really have to do is a few simple skills to connect you. And when you do that, okay, when you say, okay, what's the difference between magic and miracle? I had a friend who came to town and she was really tired from the trip. And she looked at me and she said, please give me a healing. So we were in a place in public, okay? And when I heal, I use my hands and I remove the energy from each energy center and I clean the aura, and I'm going, oh God, people are going to look at me like I'm really wacko out here in public, but I'll do it for you because you asked me so nicely and you asked me, please, I'll do it. And I did a very fast healing like our beginning healers do. Okay?
Right.
And in her back, right behind her chest, she had this strange, it was like a metal block. I didn't know what it was, but I pulled it out. I said, this doesn't belong here. It's directing your energy is moving around it instead of through it. I'll send it away to wherever it came from. And I finished the healing and she went back. She was only in town for a couple of days. She went back to Colorado and then I got a phone call and she said, what did you do when you healed me? You caused a miracle. Of course, I prefer magic miracle because miracle people get really intense. And I said, okay, my ears go up when you say miracle. I said, so what happened? She said, I had this pain in my back all my life. My father was in the unions. He had fantastic medical care. I went to all these doctors and nobody could fix it. You gave me a healing and it's gone. I said, yes, because it was a piece of energy in your space that didn't belong to you. That's all. It's very simple. It's all about energy.
Well, it's definitely interesting where you talk about neutral cosmic love as a source of healing energy. Can you explain what that means and how we can connect with it? How do we connect with it? Yeah.
A lot of people, when they start looking at healing someone, they get very afraid that they're going to take on the other person's problem. Oh my God, if I heal somebody and they have this illness, I will get it. We show you how not to do that, how to make a separation from someone, okay? And when you heal somebody, you're not sending your love over to them because your love in their body doesn't work. It works in your body. You're bringing in neutral cosmic energy, maybe golden sunlight, maybe different cosmic love energy. It's very neutral. So it works for the person you're working it on because it blends. It becomes part of them. They absorb that. And so that works. Okay. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it totally does. It does. Because, I mean, so basically, for those who struggle to believe in their own power to heal, this would be something I would think, especially learning this more and taking more of a deeper dive interviewing you. Can you explain what that means and how one can connect with it?
The first thing we do is we teach you the 5 basic skills. And one of those skills is how to let go of patterns, programs, and fears. See, your fear in life is your doubt. Doubt is a thing that ruins your career, ruins your relationships, and basically ruins your self-esteem. So the first thing we do is show you how to let go of doubt and fear. And you start to learn the process of relieving it, of taking it away. Now, I can tell you, if you feel fear or doubt anywhere in your system, you can ask where it is. And if you feel it in your body, you can literally grab that energy and you can throw it out into the great sea of awareness. However, I will teach you, if I teach you, I will teach you a bit of a better system for doing it, an easier system that's clearer. But whenever you have something like that, you can pull it out. You can color code it and say, within my system, all the fear is red, and wherever there's red, I'm going to pull it out. And if you don't know how to pull it out, it's there because you can feel it in your body. I will tell you to create a giant magnet that only magnetizes to that red and pass it along the front of your spine, pass it along the back of your spine, pass it along your physical body, around you, pass it around your aura, and collect up that fear, okay? And some of it will pull out easily, and then toss that out, okay? Away from you, okay? But then you have to bring a golden sun in and fill in that area. Because if you have an empty space where you held on to doubt and fear and negative ideas and confusion, we always love to show people how to get rid of confusion because they take action once they get rid of confusion. Once you fill in with golden sun, okay, then you start to own those spaces. So then you have all this extra energy. So we found when people do some of our basic skills, they get energized. They sleep a little less and they have tons of energy and they're like happy. They're joyous because they feel good, because they're not being bound by all the fears and the doubts and the confusions that we have in modern life, and also fed to us, fed by our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, our mentors. Everybody gives you what they think will help you, but it's their way, okay? And if you get rid of all of their way, you make that direct connection. And once you make that direct connection, wow, that's when you start to be the authentic you. You know who you are. You know what's right for you. And that's the key to healing, because healing is just change. I like to teach change on an energy level.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't have thought a lot of times people that are teaching this energy stuff, they don't talk about the healing of someone else. They always think about self-healing and self-correcting and changing who you are versus helping others. And this is just a different perspective for sure. How do karma and free will play a role in someone's healing journey as you discuss in the book?
Karma is cause and effect. So you have to look carefully at what you do, because whatever you do will have an effect later. So you're responsible for yourself, okay? And later, I know I taught in the East for many years, and they understand karma. Americans don't understand karma. They think if they go in 7-Eleven to steal a candy bar, that there's something terrible is going to happen within 24 hours. But actually, karma is like a stain on your soul that you carry, like a guilt when you didn't do something you should have done. And if you don't clean that up, that might carry to a future life, okay? Where it might manifest a long ways on. So karma teaches you real responsibility, that you watch what you're saying to people, okay? Free will is your ability to choose your destiny, okay? And that means that you have the ability to create whatever it is you want or need. That's what free will is, okay? That's the biggest gift in the universe that humans have.
100%. And why is it so many people don't see that, even if they don't practice spirituality and healing like you do? Why do other people might benefit from some of these things, yet don't believe in them at all? This is a question that I'm just taking from my experience of how it works for me, but then everyone else looks at me like, really? This really works for you? Yeah. Why do things always go your way most of the time? Because I believe they will.
But you don't even have to believe. All you have to do is make that connection with your higher self and get rid of the disbelief.
Right. Yes. That disbelief.
Right?
Disbelief.
We've been programmed for centuries. I don't know how many times people tell you, when you get older, you're going to have these aches and pains and it's really hard to do this. Or they tell you, you want to do that kind of career? And that's really difficult. You wouldn't want to do that. You'll be poor. You won't make it work. And you go, no, that's what I feel is right within me. Okay. But you have to get rid of all that stuff that you've been told. And that's what we're doing on the whole planet now. So many people are being pushed to figure out what's real for me now, because everything seems unreal and everything is moving so fast that
right.
It's very important now to make that rounded connection with your body, your spirit, and the higher nature. This is the most important, because otherwise people who don't make it, it's like they're hitting a wall and they get so confused and lost. And they keep trying to do it the old way, and it doesn't work. So more people every day are finding the way you're doing it, where it comes to you, you just know. And when they doubt, partially they're waiting for you to tell them, don't doubt. No,
exactly.
You're hitting at you because they're afraid. So they're voicing their doubt, but they want somebody to come and tell them, wait, let me show you another way. Just try it. Try it.
Exactly.
You like it, because you're going to find out it's much more powerful. It's empowering to be able to say, okay, I have this physical problem, and do you know something? I can make it go away. And I can actually find out that maybe it wasn't really a problem. It was some emotion stuck somewhere in my body that made the energy not move properly, and I can make it go away entirely. Now, I'm not going to say that happens every time, but you'd be surprised how many times it really does happen, where you go to the doctor and you're taking all this medicine where originally maybe you could have just said hello to yourself. And
exactly.
It's really happening.
So what are a few simple daily practices that can help people maintain balance and harmony in their energy?
Creating grounding, making the body very real. That's why I'm sitting on an exercise bike, reading a book, okay? That's really feeling what's happening in your body. Yeah. Even if you get up early and breathe in dawn and sit quietly and say hello to yourself and talk to your body, because your body will talk back to you.
Oh my goodness.
Will give you a message. And from there, you start to look at, okay, what is it is most important in my life? What is a priority? In other words, today, what makes me feel good? Can I find 5 things I can do to make me feel good? Because you have to make that connection first and give to yourself and give yourself permission to change and grow.
Wow. And that's key, permission to change and grow. Because if we aren't growing, we're dying in certain aspects. We want to grow and this is definitely a book to definitely check out, to look at, especially on the healing side of things. And so I have other questions that I'm going to go more my questions now to finish up this podcast. One major question. How can I start healing today? How can I heal somebody else today?
I find, Neil, that you heal people by pulling your energy in, finding your really strong point where you just feel strong, where you just radiate that positivity. When you are around people like that, what happens is they try to match your energy. Okay? They try to go up to your level. They're either going to go down and sink or they're going to come up to where you are. So if you hold that level, and yes, bring a golden sun above your head, let that radiate through you, okay? Be the light for people, because that radiates, and that's what you do. That's your skill. That's your empowerment. You hold the light and you show people the light, and they try to come up to the same vibration.
Wow. I completely agree. That's the big thing is if I'm in this mode, which is most of the time, I have good calls. I don't have lots of conflict. I have the ability to make people happy. And even if I'm failing in some sort of way, there's still a very peaceful situation, because at times we're not going to always be perfect. We're not going to do, but if we bring that to the table, you never know what you can do. But I would never have considered that healing. So you were able to tell me today that's healing.
That's very much so healing. And that's part of your magic. Okay. Your magic is giving people that permission to raise up to another level of holding the light and opening the door for them. And that's very powerful healing. See, you just illustrated why people have an issue with healing, because they don't understand what healing is. Healing is change. Healing is being a mirror for another person to show them something that they don't see, or they have an issue or difficulty in seeing, and helping them lift beyond that.
You've taught me something today, that's for sure. And I think that I give people joy by coming on my show, why they enjoy me interviewing them, because I really care about their subject matter. I'm not just going through the motions. And I want to learn something from every experience. And everyone has something exciting to share. And that's why I enjoy what I do. And somebody said I would never make any money ever in this. They were absolutely wrong. And every day I can't wait to discover what I'm going to learn. And I bring that to every call and every opportunity I can. Most of the time. Sometimes I'm going to not hit the mark completely, but I do most of the time.
So you're a healer.
I never would have thought that. So where can people...
Spiritual healing, okay? Please don't divide healing and spiritual, because for me, it's all interweaved. It's working with energy is spirit.
All right. Where can people find your book and pick it up?
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Reader's Magnet is my publisher. And I believe it's also being shown in the UK and in America, so it's going worldwide.
Wonderful. I really enjoyed this conversation. I appreciate your time and appreciate you coming on the show.
It's been a thrill for me. I really enjoyed listening to you and watching what you do and seeing how powerful that is, because you're empowering so many people in so many different ways. Bravo. I think that's incredible.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be